Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do a tips and advice on going to university video, seeing as I've just finished my final year and I've kind of been there, done that, so I thought I'd just kind of give my tips based on my experience when I first came to university. So my first tip would definitely be to not take too much. Like, I know when you first go it feels like you're gonna need everything, but you honestly won't. Like, the amount of stuff I brought with me that I literally didn't even use, and like even clothes that I don't even wear at home that I brought to uni with me, like it just makes it more effort for when you do have to move out and pack it all. And obviously when you're there you're gonna buy more stuff like clothes and that, so it's just gonna add up. So just try and take only the necessities. And obviously when you go back home for like the holidays and that, you can always switch things out as well, like based on the seasons and things like that. And with your like kitchen stuff, obviously it's not worth getting like a whole dining set because obviously it's just you. So I literally just got like one big plate, one small plate, one bowl, and then another kind of bigger bowl, and then just like a cheap set of cutlery from like Argos, and the same with my saucepans. And obviously you can get like cheap baking trays and everything, so again, like, you honestly don't need a lot. And even if you don't have everything, I'm sure the people you're living with can obviously let you use stuff and things like that. And before I went, me and my mum tried to get me together like a box of like kind of the basic things that I needed, so that when I first got to university I was kind of set up for my first lot of stuff. So whether that was like staple foods like pasta and rice and like cereal and stuff, and then things like shampoo and shower gel. So I kind of just made sure I had like one of everything, so that I didn't have to kind of buy it all when I first got to university. It definitely made it a lot easier just knowing that I already had like one of everything to kind of start me off. In terms of before you actually go to university, depends on what like accommodation you're living in. Definitely join Facebook groups, because I'm pretty sure that any university will have them, and that way you can kind of find the people that you're going to be living with, whether that's for your accommodation and also for the course that you're studying as well. And that way just kind of, you just get to know people more before you actually go, and you can kind of get a feel for like everyone's personalities and stuff. And I think it just kind of makes it a bit less daunting, because like obviously you've kind of already met them to an extent, so it's not as scary for when you actually do go to university. So I remember this way as well, because we all had our own like little group chat for the house we were staying in and finding out stuff about each other. It also meant that we could plan like the freshers events we wanted to go to together, so that way as well you kind of already have stuff to look forward to as well when you go there. It may seem like common sense, but obviously preparing to be independent when you get there. So obviously when you're at home, I'm sure most of us probably had a lot of things just done for us and we just didn't really think about it. So like the first time I did my washing, like it sounds really stupid, but like my mum came down with me so that she could like show me how everything worked, because obviously she was more used to it than I was. And then next time I did it by myself, obviously when she wasn't there, I just kind of knew what I was doing and things like that. And obviously like cooking for yourself and doing a food shop, it's just things that you don't really have to think about, because obviously we never really do it when we're at home. But yeah, but I think that's another thing that's nice to experience with the people that you're now living with, because like you can kind of do those things together, like go out and do a food shop and things like that, and it's just another way to kind of get to know the people you're now living with. This also may seem like pretty obvious, but I say if you're thinking of going to university, then definitely go to an open day, because obviously I know the majority of people do, but like the amount of people I know from like school or college that didn't actually go to an open day and just chose university, I found quite surprising, because I just feel like that way, how are you going to know if, you know, you're not going to get a proper feel for the place unless you go there. Obviously, what if you move to a university quite far away from home and then you get there and realise, you know, it's just not for you? I feel like this way of going to an open day, it just kind of prevents that hassle from happening, having to move to a completely new place, move back and then transfer to another university. Like this way, I think it just makes it a lot easier. Something else that I'd say is very important is to definitely budget. Because I definitely learnt this the hard way, because I think once you get your student loan you're like, oh wow, I have all this money, and then obviously it goes down quicker than you think, because obviously you're just going out drinking refreshers and things like that, and on nights out and doing your food shop, and then it's not until sometimes you actually look at your bank balance where you're like, oh wow, like I'm not going to get my next loan for another like 2 months and I've only got this amount left. So I definitely tried to set myself a limit of how much I could spend every week on like my food shop, going out, and then anything I'd have left over I could maybe treat myself or put that towards my next week's like money allowance, because you don't want to be, you know, short on money, especially if you've actually got quite a long time before your next loan comes in, and it just saves the hassle of being like, Mum, can you help me kind of thing. So yeah, I definitely say that's really important. Or I opened a savings account as well, so I'd say that's definitely worth doing. I also have an account that doesn't have an overdraft, because I feel like personally if I did, that would have been a lot more tempting for me to spend more money, which obviously all is good, like if you want to do that, I'm not judging. But I just feel like next time obviously you do get a student loan, you know, you'd forget that you'd have to kind of pay that money back, and then again you'd be left with less than you think. Does that make sense? One other thing I would say is that obviously settling into a new place, you're bound to feel homesick at one point when you first get there, and obviously that's normal. And when you first meet everyone, you just have to remind yourself, as scared as you may feel or worried that people, you know, aren't going to like you, everyone's going to be feeling that way. You know, everyone's now living away from home, everyone's now living with strangers, so I think that definitely makes it a lot better, because obviously that way you're all going through the same thing, and it just makes it a lot easier to bond, I think. In terms of the course that you're doing, I know a lot of people say like, oh, first year doesn't count, like don't worry about it, but obviously you still need to pass, so like if you don't pass then obviously you have to do it again, so it's not worth it. And I just think, even though, yeah, on my course at this university my first year doesn't actually count towards my final grade, I think it's still obviously important to try your hardest, because that way you're going to get a feel for what your assignments and coursework is going to be like, and then it kind of sets you up for the next year, you know, the amount of reading that you'll have and things like that. And like, it's not like school, like the lecturers aren't going to chase you, so it will be for your own benefit, you know, in the end, if you do the hard work now, because it will definitely pay off. I know a lot of people probably already know this, but like trying to save money where you can. So like because in my first year my accommodation was literally like a 2-minute walk from the Sainsbury's, so I made sure I got like a Nectar card to like build points up and get money off. And then where I lived in my second and third year, because it was a lot closer to the town centre, which is where there's a Tesco, so like I got a club card as well, because it definitely helps like when you do your weekly shop. And then getting a rail card as well, that definitely helps, because obviously you can get a third off, and with train prices going up and up, it seems, all the time, because I'm not that far away from home, because I'm in Canterbury and I live back in Essex, so it's only like a 2-hour train journey, but that can still be like £30 for me. But obviously if I didn't have that rail card it would be like £40, so it definitely makes it seem more affordable for me to go home if I want to, because obviously if you can't afford it, then it can kind of stop you from being able to go home and see your family and friends like in the holidays or whatever, like if you can't get other travel arrangements. And obviously you get apps like Uni Days and Student Beans and things like that, which are really helpful, so I'm definitely going to make use of them before my student ID properly runs out. And when it comes to deciding what accommodation you want to stay in, so obviously well, if it's anything like this city that I'm in, if you've got like different accommodations kind of scattered around the town, they're all going to be near or far away from certain things. So obviously depending if you want to be like near the library or near like a good supermarket, or away from the noise of like nightclubs or anything, and definitely like take that into account when you're choosing what accommodation you want. And obviously even things like shared bathrooms or not, it just makes it a lot easier, so then you're kind of, you know what you're going into when you move in. Even if you're not that much of a party person or you don't really drink, still definitely go out in like your freshers week, because that is definitely your prime opportunity to get to know your housemates better, get to know other people who are maybe living in your accommodation, and even just like meeting people on nights out. It's such a good experience, and I think your like freshers week is something that you'll always remember in your time at university. So definitely, you know, don't just stay in your room being unsociable. Before you go to university, obviously you usually get like welcome packs and things to tell you what you need to bring, like if you've got like introductory sessions, and like if you have to register properly, because I remember we needed our things like our A-level results, and even little things like having a paper copy of them, otherwise it's just a hassle, because then you can't like register properly. So it's just making sure you have everything you need before you go, just so that you can get it all done straight away and you kind of don't have to worry about it. So then it's all done in the first week that you arrive, and you don't have to like long out the process of getting fully registered and settled in. So they're my kind of like basic tips if you are going to university in September. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I do have a blog as well if you'd like to check that out, so I will leave a link to that, and be sure to follow me on my other social media channels, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!